The choices we make about chickens today are quietly deciding which breeds will still exist tomorrow. Most people think heritage chicken breeds disappeared because they weren't productive enough. Makes sense at first, right? But here's the thing, that's not what happened. The breeds that declined didn't fail. They were hardy, long lived, and perfectly suited to small farms and seasonal systems. What actually changed? Not the chickens. The system changed. If you keep chickens or are thinking about starting a flock, what I'm about to share with you is important to know. Why? Because the same forces that nearly wiped out heritage breeds decades ago are still shaping which chickens people buy today, and which ones just quietly disappear. And there are still heritage breeds today that are on the critically endangered list. Let's talk about why some breeds survived and why others didn't, because that knowledge can help you pick a flock that's actually resilient and productive, and so that history doesn't repeat itself. Before I started looking into things myself, I had always heard that the heritage breeds became unpopular because they were slow growers, poor layers, or just not worth it. But when you look closer, you'll see that's not the case. Many of the breeds that declined were actually incredible. Take the Delaware, Java, or Dominique. These birds handled cold winters like champs. They laid eggs consistently and survived predators that would wipe out less hardy flocks. Despite this, though, they nearly disappeared, and breeds like the Holland or Crevecoeur suffered even more. Why? Well, because hatcheries didn't promote them, and farmers were switching to faster growing hybrids. It wasn't the bird's fault, it was the system. So, what really happened? Industrialization. Farms got bigger, priorities shifted, and fast. Suddenly, uniformity, speed, and feed efficiency mattered more than resilience, longevity, or versatility. Heritage breeds weren't built for that. They were built for small farms, seasonal cycles, and practical self sufficient living. So when the system changed, the demand for these birds disappeared, even though the birds themselves were perfectly capable. And you know what happens when demand decreases? The product isn't widely promoted anymore and is slowly replaced. That's what happened with the heritage breeds. Only a few breeders saw their value and continued to raise them. Had it not been for them, many of the heritage breeds might have disappeared altogether. And this brings us to another piece of the puzzle: marketing and familiarity. Some heritage breeds survived because people knew their names. Rhode Island Reds, for example. They were everywhere. Hatcheries promoted them, books mentioned them, farmers trusted them because they were still familiar. Meanwhile, breeds like the Crevecoeur and the Holland were quietly fading away. Equally capable birds, but nobody was talking about them. And get this, only a few years ago, even the Heritage Rhode Island Red was listed as a threatened breed because it too became overshadowed by the new, faster growing commercial Rhode Island Reds, which, by the way, differ from the heritage breed of Rhode Island Red. It was only removed from the endangered list in 2023 after a couple of decades, thanks to some dedicated conservationists who stepped up to help. History shows us survival often came down to visibility more than ability. And you know what? We see something similar happening today. in backyard flocks. People chase egg color, novelty, or how pretty the bird looks, sometimes more than they think about hardiness or productivity. Don't get me wrong, we all love beautiful and unusual birds and colorful eggs. I certainly do. But concentrating only on those types means that some breeds stay popular while others get overlooked. But history has shown us one thing. The breeds that survived over the long haul, they had one thing in common. They worked in the real world. I see that with the Buckeyes. They are hardy even in our cold North Florida winters. They stay calm in a mixed flock. They are great foragers and predator savvy too. Those are exactly the traits that helped the breed survive while others disappeared. Understanding all of this isn't just a typical history lesson, it's practical. If your goal is self-sufficiency, you want a flock that's productive, resilient, and suited to your environment. Therefore, you need to choose based on real-world performance, not trends. There are still heritage breeds out there most people never encounter. Not because they're inferior, just because they got lost in the shuffle of popularity and commercial systems. If you want to see real examples of heritage breeds that nearly disappeared and some that are still in danger of extinction, I've done 2 full videos on that, which I will link at the end of this video and in the description below. It's a great way to see the stories behind the birds and figure out which ones need the most help or which ones might be right for your own flock. I promise you, if you decide to raise some heritage breeds, you won't regret it. I really want to share this valuable info with more people. So if you found this information helpful, make sure to hit that like button. It really does push YouTube to share it with other people. And if you enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing so that you don't miss future videos. And I'd love to hear what you yourself think about heritage breeds. Which ones do you think deserve more attention right now? Comment below. I read and respond to everyone. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.